ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Verse 171 ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया. So as a part of Tatpadartha Vichara, part of Mahavakya. So Vidyaranya Swamiji is analyzing this nature of Ishvara, Tatpada Vichara, and then that direct meaning of Tatpada. So as revealed by so Tatpada has been discussed. If Mahavakya talks about Tat and Tvam and talks about identity between them, in terms of a laksha, etc. Well, definitely, it must be talking about, the tatpada direct meaning also. Implied meaning, if they give, definitely an implied meaning is always connected to the direct meaning. Is always connected. So, vachya sambandhi tat lakshana. This is how they define. Vachya sambandhi lakshana. Lakshana means all this implied meaning. Whenever you see, Lakshana it's a vritti, basically. Vritti means a method of revealing the meaning of word. That's called vritti. So, well, and there are several vrittis, Kridanta vritti, Samasa vritti, etc. Several vrittis are there. So, Shabdasya Arthabodhana Prakaraha vrittihi. This is how they define. Shabdasya Arthabodhana Prakaraha. So the method in which a word reveals a meaning. So there are several methods. One is a direct meaning. Just a word you hear or occurs in your mind means a meaning also immediately occurs. That's an immediate meaning, direct meaning. And then, well, direct meaning does not function. I mean, it cannot. I mean, if word does not have a direct meaning, then, and word being a meaningful word, suppose, then in that case, well, it must have an implied meaning. So then, you employ another method of revealing the meaning of the word. Well, and which is connected to the direct meaning, of course. But it's an implied meaning. And therefore, so this is how, and then therefore there are lakshanas. And lakshana means basically, as I told you, a method of revealing the meaning. And there are three methods. And of course, Jahad, Ajal, Lakshana, etc. And then, Jahad, Lakshana, Ajal, Lakshana, Jahad, Ajal, Lakshana, Bhagatyag, etc. So this is how it is. And always it is connected to so Gangayam Goshaha, Gangayam Goshaha. So Goshaha means a hut. Hut in Ganges. Hut in Ganges? How can a hut survive in such a flow of Ganges? So no. Gangayaha tire Gosha. So hut is on the bank of Ganges river. So Gangayam, direct meaning of the Ganges is Ganges river. But hut cannot be in the river. So, well, you have to take that hut is on the bank of Ganga river. So, Ganga's direct meaning, a river, is there. But then since the direct meaning cannot function here, so we will have to take a implied meaning of word Ganga, river. Ganga is a river, direct meaning. But you have to take an implied meaning, indirect way you have to take, which is connected to the river only, and that is Gangayaha Tire. So, on the bank of the Ganges river. So, but direct meaning has come inside, but connected. Yeah, so indirectly, so it's always, Lakshana is always connected to the direct meaning. And therefore, so many examples we can give, right? And therefore, so, what is that? Oh, so then, the bus is coming, right? The bus is coming. Bus cannot come. Bus means that body with a certain component. So that's a bus. So bus is coming, it cannot come like that. So bus along with the driver. But the direct meaning of bus should be taken. No, Swamiji, the bus is coming means only driver is coming. No, how can a driver is coming? So the driver along with the bus is coming. So direct meaning of the bus, that body also is there included in that. Please understand. And so it is always, Lakshana is always like this, connected to the direct meaning, but not just direct meaning. Could you follow? It is not just direct meaning, it is connected to the direct meaning. Vachya Sambandhi Lakshana. Vachya means a direct meaning. Sambandhi, connected to the Vachya, connected to the direct meaning. But just since the direct meaning direct meaning of a word cannot be taken, because this sentence will be a totally false statement. Which statement is false statement? Well, basically this bus is coming. So you say, oh rickshaw. You see, it is not here. I am saying in India. Oh rickshaw, oh rickshaw. Rickshaw cannot hear, because rickshaw cannot see. Rickshaw is not a conscious being, and therefore rickshaw, you call rickshaw, but rickshaw cannot come. Oh, but we are calling driver. Okay, then call driver. Why are you using word rickshaw? No, the driver means driver who is connected to the rickshaw. Yeah. So rickshaw is equal to not just that vehicle, but a driver of the vehicle. Right? But then vehicle you have to bring in. The meaning word vehicle, that particular vehicle, denoted by the word rickshaw, should be there. Okay? So since direct meaning is not functioning, I don't know why I started this topic. But anyway, so sometime after speaking something, I realized that this is a problem with me. Anyway, anyway, this may be Ishvara's will, whatever you think. Anyway, so this is how it is. So direct meaning, when it doesn't function, then employ another method and take another meaning connected to the direct meaning. So rickshaw is equal to rickshaw driver. Anyway, and so along with rickshaw, of course, and therefore it is there. Anyway, so this is how Tatpada Vachya also has been described in Shastra. Ultimately, Mahavakya is a Tatparya of the Upanishad, but then, this is to be taken along. The Tatpada Vachya also should be there. Then only, and removing, etc., all this from both the sides of the Mahavakya equation, etc. And Tatpada Vachya is Ishvara. And therefore, in every Upanishad, there is a description of Ishvara as a creator, etc. Also will be there. Creation also is described. Naturally, creation is described and then creator will be automatically there. So, creation and manifestation, both words are there, both have a little different meaning. Yeah. From the standpoint of the knowledge of Ishvara, definitely we call it as a creation. And from the standpoint of a material cause, we call it as a manifestation. This is how it is. Yeah. From the standpoint of a knowledge of Ishvara and gradual let's say, a gradual coming out whole thing. We call it as a creation. But from the standpoint of a material cause, we call it as manifestation. Because this whole which you see right now will go back to unmanifest condition. So that is material. That is Maya. And so basically, so that is Maya is a material. Maya is Upadhan Karan. And so Maya alone manifests. So from the standpoint of material cause, it is manifestation, the same Jagat. From the standpoint of Ishvara's knowledge, well, it is creation. So we use this way. Sometime creation, sometime Jagat is called creation, Jagat sometimes is called manifestation. This is how Puja Swamiji explains all this thing. Anyway, so this Maya Pratibimbita Chaitanyam, Ishvara, etc. Well, we are under the discussion. And it is a Maya, ultimately we have seen it is a master of Maya. Well, Jiva is Antakarana Pratibimbita Chaitanyam, it is slave of Antakaranam, etc. Slave of Avidya, whatever you can say. So, reflecting medium. Anyway, and that Ishvara definitely has a superior attributes, and those attributes also we are discussing. For discussion of those attributes, basically, we are taking a Shruti as a source of this. And that is, the first source is the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Very clearly, right? Mayam tu prakritim vidyad, Mayinam tu maheshwaram, etc. etc. So Maya is this Prakriti, and this Mayi means the Ishvara is a one who is a controller of the Maya. So Maya is under the control of Ishvara. And then the second Upanishad, from there, he has gone to Mandukya to describe the superior attributes of Ishvara. And that is Esha Sarveshwaraha, Esha Sarvagnaha, Eshontaryami, Esha Sarvasya Yonihi, Prabhavapyavihi Bhutanam, the sixth mantra of Mandukya. Well, describes Ishvara with a superior attributes called Sarvagnaha, Sarveshaktiman. We have seen all this. And right now we are seeing a Antaryami attribute. Antaryami, inner controller. He is an inner controller. Jiva is a controlled, and Ishvara is a controller. By the way, we are quite away from the main topic of Vedanta, which is going to come later. Because this question should not occur in anybody's mind after listening. Now Jiva is a controlled, and Ishvara is a controller. And they were first initially discussing all this, Mahavakya. There Jiva is nothing but Brahman alone. And there is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara. And now they are saying, now this Swami Am is coming and telling Jiva is controlled and Ishvara is a controller, inner controller. And Sarvagnya, Sarveshwara, all the way Jiva and Ishvara are different. And after two classes you will find him saying Jiva is Brahman alone. And so these people, that is how I am telling you, leave this Vedanta, because this thing is, they always talk here and there, all contrary things only they talk. They never talk consistency. You won't find any consistency in their teaching. Anyway, that is how. And now you will find today, that they say Vishishtadvaitin also is right. So that is how they are actually. Okay, keep this, okay? And therefore, so basically, we accommodate everyone. Remember, the Mandukya is ultimately that, so where Gaudapada says very beautifully that we don't have anything against anybody. In fact, we are enjoying Dvaitam. We are enjoying Vishishta Advaitam also. And we are enjoying Advaita Fruta also. We enjoy every fruit, basically. We enjoy every fruit. Like people go in India, when they go from Ahmedabad to Delhi, every station they get down, and whatever available there, which is popular there, they will take it. Somewhere bhajis are very popular, somewhere rabdi is very popular. They get down at every place, and whatever is there, very famous there, and they like, then they just consume. So this is how we are. And right now we are in Vishishtadvaitin, okay? So we are Vishishtadvaitin. Now we'll after some time we'll change that dress. No problem. Anyway, so Shvetashvatar Upanishad, then Mandukya, and then Mandukya, the third attribute now, Antaryami. So Vidyaranya remembers suddenly Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 3rd chapter, 7th section. Wow. And so where whole section Antaryami Brahmana. And so, he defined. And And so he thought, let me define now Antaryami, which has been the way Upanishad has defined, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has defined. And yah sarveshu bhuteshu tishtan sarvebhyah bhutebhyah antarah yah sarvani bhutani na viduhu yasya sarvani bhutani shariram yah sarvani bhutani antarah yamayati eshate atma antaryami amritah iti adhibhutam adhyatmam, etc. We have seen all this. So yah sarveshu bhuteshu tishtan, this Antaryami Ishvara, Tatpada Vachya, direct meaning of this Tatpada, who is Antaryami, who is having the superior attributes of inner controllership. Well, he is Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tishtan, he is everywhere in all the beings. As how? So Tishtan Sarvebhyah Bhutebhyah Antaraha. He is there in everyone, but he is basically, he is an essence of everyone. So innermost essence of everyone, material cause, we have seen that. And yah sarvani bhutani na viduhu, he cannot be objectified by anybody, and either from adhyatma or from adhidaiva. Adhibhuta cannot objectify because it is jadam. To objectify it, one has to be a subject. To objectify something, you should be subject. And subject being should be a conscious being. And therefore, adhyatma means the jiva, adhibhuta means devatas. So they can objectify something, but they also cannot objectify. And therefore, yah sarvani bhutani na viduhu. So this Antaryami being the innermost essence of everything, no one knows him. No one is not able to objectify him with the pramanas available to them. Then yasya sarvani bhutani shariram. And this, well, basically all these bodies, subtle, gross, these are the bodies of that Antaryami. He doesn't have a separate body, etc. And that all we have seen. And then lastly it says, yah sarvani bhutani antaraha yamayati. He remaining within, being in innermost essence of everything, remaining within, sarvani bhutani yamayati. He controls everyone. And that is the aspect, the last aspect, the fifth aspect of this Antaryami has been under the discussion. And now, well, he is the inner controller of everything. He controls every, whatever is there in Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva and Adhyatma, he controls everything. For that, he quoted Shruti and, took help of the Shruti. And now he found that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself is a pramana for that. And now he feels that let me go to Smriti. In Smriti also, one verse is there in Bhagavad Gita which is directly revealing this Antaryami. And so he is talking about this Smriti now, 18th chapter, perhaps mantra, shloka number 61 or something. The Ishvara Sarvabhutana, he is bodily lifting whole verse as it is. Sometimes they paraphrase, but here it is not like this. He is basically quoting whole this shloka and explains the running meaning in this verse number 171, and then later 172, 173, 174, he explains every word of this shloka. Sarva Bhutani means what? Tishtan means what? Hridaya means what? Etc. etc. So this is told this total 4 verses now about this shloka, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, etc. So for Ishvaraha Riddesher Junatishthati. Ishvaraha, this Antaryami, Lord resides in the heart of everyone. Yoveda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Yeah. Here it's there in Upanishad says Yoveda Nihitam Guhayam. One who abides in every buddhi. The Ishvara, abides in every buddhi. Here it says Ishvara resides in every heart. So now what is the truth? Whether he abides in buddhi or whether he abides in the heart. So that we have to see. And buddhi, he abides in buddhi. But buddhi is a part of Sukshma Sharira. So, right? And therefore, it requires a location. It requires a house. And therefore, Hridaya here is a house. Basically, is an abode for this buddhi. And so both are correct. He abides in buddhi is also correct. He abides in the heart, that is the physical part, also is correct. Because physical heart is the golakam for the Buddhi, the mind, antakaran, etc. Say every Indriyam has a Golakam. We have seen that actually. Indriyam belongs to subtle body and Golakam belongs to the gross body. The subtle body, the subtle Indriya basically requires a Golakam. Subtle body requires a whole physical body as a Golakam to stay there and to do transaction, etc. So here, so that is also correct. He abides in the buddhi, he manifests in the buddhi, identifies with the buddhi, etc., etc. I will explain you all these things. Ultimately is true. Ultimately is one thing alone. So with regard to this Pancha Indriyani, no confusion at all. So Chakshu Indriya stays in Chakshu Golakam, while Shrotra Indriya in the Shrotra Golakam, and then Nasa Indriya in the nose Golakam, that gross part. And so mind also requires a Golakam. Antakarana Buddhi requires a Golakam. And so, well, we in Shastra says the Golakam is the Hridayam. And therefore the meaning of the Hridayam here is a physical part, which is of the gross body. Don't take Hridayam means Buddhi. Okay? Yeah. So Golakam belongs to Sthula Shariram. Anyway, so word refers to this physical heart, you can say. Anyway, so Hriddeshe means Hridaya, means the physical heart. Within the heart, well, there is a Buddhi or Antakaranam, and in the Antakaranam, the Sakshi Chaitanya is present. Whenever you talk about Antakaranam, always say Sakshi. Yeah, same Brahman, Atma is a Sakshi. Of every cognition. Sakshi is present in every cognition as an invariable factor. And when cognition is not there, when mind resolves, well, Sakshi is present to reveal the absence of cognition. Yeah, so Sakshi is always present. Being invariable, he is present when the cognition is present. He is present when the cognition is absent. Yeah, and so he is a variable component, right? And so Anvaya Vyatireka, remember this, there's a bread, Anvaya Vyatireka bread. Okay, bread and butter, both. It's a very beautiful Anvaya Vyatireka. Thought is there, consciousness is there. Thought is not there, consciousness is there. Okay? So, consciousness is all the time there. To reveal the presence of thought or to reveal the absence of thought. Therefore, it is Sakshi, witness consciousness. Why we are calling Sakshi? Because this is how it is. So that is all the time present. But then thought is there and thought comes and thought goes. From where it comes and from where it goes. From consciousness alone it comes. Okay, non-separate from consciousness. Nothing is independent of consciousness. Thought comes from consciousness. Consciousness cannot generate thought. Yes, but we are talking about Ishvara. Please remember, Maya is there. Maya alone but thought is generated by Maya. Then it is not a part of Jagat. Thought means Antakarana. Antakarana is subtle body. So, and subtle body is not generated by Maya. Do you mean? Let's refer to Tattva Bodha. Okay. Therefore, so please be clear, and there are few things which I am going to talk about it. We have to be very clear about this thing, so it will be a great confusion, especially in this verse. So we are talking, I have already told you this, we are talking about right now Tatpada Vachyartha and the Ishvara, etc. And therefore Maya is always there. What is created, but then Maya has created, right? So it is a part of Maya, it is not part of Brahman, but Maya is non-separate from Brahman, and therefore whatever is generated by Maya is non-separate from Brahman, and therefore thought is generated from consciousness, if I say, or thought is created by Ishvara, if I say, it is the same thing. And therefore thought resolves into consciousness, thought arises from consciousness. And therefore, in every thought, consciousness is present. That's called cognition. Pratibodha viditam matam, right? Atmana vindate viryam. We have seen that in Kenopanishad. Pratibodha viditam matam. Where will I know this consciousness? Where will I know this consciousness? Don't worry. Brahmapura is there. This Brahmapura Buddhi is there. If you want to find Brahman, you have to go to the city of Brahman. That's where it stays. And therefore, consciousness is recognized just in the buddhi. Remember forever with the golden letters. Never try outside. It's a wrong direction. Living aside and trying to find elsewhere is not going to work. It's not going to work. You are the source of consciousness. Brahman is this consciousness, and therefore you are consciousness. Try to, but I am consciousness. How will I know? You manifest as a conscious being in the heart or in the buddhi. Buddhi is a place where consciousness is manifest as consciousness. Here you may not be able to find. People try and try and try and ultimately get frustrated. They want to know Brahman because Brahman is sarvavyapi, and therefore they want to locate Brahman somewhere. Never try to locate Brahman because Brahman has no location. Any object has a location in time, place, everything. Never try. Nididhyasanam means recognize as I itself. I itself is this Brahman, which is taken otherwise as this Pramata, the knower, Karta, Bhokta, individual, Jiva, etc., Ahankara, etc. That I am witness consciousness. This when even this Ahankara falls or Ahankara arises, because that's Aham Vritti, it's a mind. Mind resolves, mind arises, then definitely that is not me. I am the very witness consciousness of this Ahankara, which arises during waking state, which falls during sleeps also, and that is the Nididhyasanam. That is the Nididhyasanam, where you understand yourself as just consciousness, nothing more than that, witness consciousness of every cognition, every thought in the mind. Anyway, so Ruddesha means the physical heart. So within the heart, of course, Antakaranam is there, and in Antakaranam, Sakshi Chaitanya is present. And so Bhagavan says, Ruddeshe Ishvaraha Tishtati. Well, Ishvaraha Tishtati. Maya Sabalam Brahma is right there. Ishvara means consciousness. Oh, you take consciousness. No problem. No problem. But I am talking about right now Antaryami. So therefore I am not using word Brahman. I can say that, but I am not taking that way, because we want to explain as a Antaryami, inner control. And therefore, well, I take along with the Maya also. Ruddeshe Ishvaraha Tishtati, this Antaryami. Because he is going to control this, the Jiva who is controlled, right? And therefore, we'll understand that. So, Ruddeshe Ishvaraha Tishtati. And in whose heart? Because Ishvara stays in, Ruddesha means in the heart, physical heart, in every Antakaranam. Therefore, then these people must be the noble people only, because that is where Ishvara can definitely stay. No. Noble or in otherwise also. Not noble. Okay, ignoble, etc. I don't know what is the opposite word, but not noble. Well, everywhere, in everybody's body, in everyone's heart, even in the criminal's heart also, Ishvara is right there. Because Antaryami has to stay, he is Antaryami, and therefore a whole Maya is under his control. And well, Maya alone manifests in the form of all these body, mind, sense complexes, all names and forms. And then therefore if Maya is under his control, then right, he is Mai. Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwara. So he is a Mai. That Maya alone manifests in the all names and forms, all subtle body, gross body, everything. And therefore he is an inner controller of everything. He is, because the whole Maya alone manifests in all the names and forms, all gross body, all subtle body. So he is right present, it is present there in everyone's heart. As Antaryami, as Ishvara. So Ishvaraha Ruddeshe Tishtati, Hridaya Tishtati. Yeah, it is true. Somewhere its manifestation is more, somewhere manifestation is less. That is true. That is there, depending upon the yoni, right? And therefore, in a heart of that tree, in a heart of that mosquito, its manifestation seems to be little less. Because then what is responsible? What is responsible? Upati is responsible. So ultimately, the Antakarana is responsible for that, because it manifests in the heart, of course. But then in the Antakarana is basically residing in the heart. And that Antakarana varies depending upon the karma, and therefore, since the Upadi, where it is manifesting, are different, definitely the manifestation looks different. So someone is less conscious, somebody is more conscious, somebody is total conscious of himself. Yeah. So you feel consciousness manifest less and more, etc. That's true. That's very true. So we have varieties of the yonis basically. But it is present in all. Ishvara is present in all. Sarvabhutanam Ruddeshe Tishtati. And how he is Tishtati? Brahmayan. So Brahmayan means, well, basically, so being inner controller. So Brahmayan exactly means impaling everyone, pushing everyone, activating everyone, compelling everyone, propelling everyone, you can say that way. So Brahmayan means activating everyone. He is right there. So that Ishvara is Antaryami basically. Antaryami Rupena Vartamana San, being present as Antaryami in everyone's heart. Well, Tishtati. Ishvara remains. But then Ishvara is basically Brahmayan means he propels everyone. So then he is a karta, right? And then if he is a karta, then he should be a bhokta also. Because he propels everyone. We are using kriyapada, verb. So he must be doing an action. So Brahmayan means he basically or controls everyone, then or he impels everyone, all the jivas residing in everyone's heart. In basically in every antakaranam, he resides there and impels everyone. Therefore he is a karta. Now you are saying Ishvara is a karta and a bhokta. And now you are saying Ishvara is a karta and a bhokta. How it is possible? How it is possible? Yep, that's what, but Bhagavan says in 4th chapter, so I am saying. How Bhagavan? Bhagavan has not said like, no, Bhagavan has told. Tasya kartaram api viddhimam, akartaram api mam. Tasya kartaram api mam, akartaram api mam. So I am karta also of everything and I am akarta also. I don't impel everyone. I don't propel everyone. I don't control everyone. Okay, then who controls? I only control. What are you saying? What are you saying? So through Maya, okay? Through Maya he controls everyone. Through his Maya Shakti he controls everyone. We have to understand that way. As a Brahman, from the standpoint of Brahman, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. There is no kartrutvam, no bhoktrutvam, nothing. So as a karta bhokta, well then, but if he, through Maya also, if he is a karta bhokta, he should be samsari. Yesterday only in Mundaka class you said that one who is a karta bhokta, he is a samsari. He has a guilt, he has a hurt, and then karta bhokta means he will have several karmas. And then karma phala he has to enjoy. And therefore he will have a lot of janmas and maranam and everything. And therefore he is a samsari. Right? So you are telling us that you are not karta bhokta, and now you are telling Ishvara is a karta bhokta. What are you saying? So through Maya Shakti, of course he is a karta bhokta. But please understand, this Maya, he is not under the control of Maya. Maya is under his control. So through Maya he appears as a karta. And whereas avidya is a upadhi. I am under the spell of avidya. And therefore I compel myself to tell me as a karta and bhokta. Even though I am not. But I say myself as a karta bhokta, I feel that I am a really karta bhokta because I am under the spell of reflecting medium, avidya. Whereas Maya, through Maya he is a karta bhokta, but Maya is under his control. And therefore he appears as a karta bhokta. That's a big difference between, yes, right? If an actor really identifies with the role, really, and so he is under the spell of the role, then he says, I am really beggar. But the one who knows that I am really not a beggar, I am just an actor, and I am taking the role, of course, for this particular film, etc. So then the whole role is under his control. Then he says, I am begging, yet I am not begging. Yeah, I appear as a beggar, he says. But one who is under the control of the role and forgets who he is, then definitely he takes the role as reality. And since the Maya is under his control and he knows his Swarupa, he is a Sarvajna, he knows himself as Brahman, a Karta Bhokta. So through Maya he appears as a Karta Bhokta. So he is not a Samsari. That's a big difference between us. Then how, but why, how it occurs like this? You see, the Maya has Avarana Shakti, deluding power. That Avarana Shakti of Maya cannot delude Ishvara. Avarana Shakti of Maya deludes the Jiva. And then our Vikshepa Shakti works, of course. Vikshepa Shakti works means for the Jiva, as that I am a Jiva and Karta, Bhokta, I am a human being, this, all this Vikshepa also will be there. So, Avidya literally covers the Brahman and makes him appear as a Jiva, etc. and takes that, Avidya Upadhi, Avidya Upadhi Vishishta Chaitanyam takes himself to be the Jiva takes himself to be a Karta, Bhokta, etc. really. Whereas this Maya cannot, since the Maya is under the control of Ishvara, the deluding power, Avarana Shakti of the Maya cannot work upon Brahman. So Brahman knows, along with the Maya Upadhi, Ishvara knows himself as a Brahman. This Brahman, along with the Avidya Upadhi, does not know himself as a Brahman. And so he takes himself to be a Karta Bhokta. Same Brahman. Avidya Upadhi is such a Upadhi under which, so Maya is Avarana Shakti only. Avidya is within the Maya only. Anyway, so the Maya's Avarana Shakti works upon this Brahman. Then definitely Brahman doesn't know himself. Whereas Maya Upadhi is one which is under the spell of, this Brahman. Then definitely he is a Ishvara. He knows himself. So he knows he is not a Karta Bhokta. And therefore, he appears as a Karta Bhokta. Whereas Jiva takes himself as a Karta Bhokta really. That's a big difference between them. So he is a Mithya Karta Bhokta. And that is how he says. That is the reason why in the 4th chapter he says, Tasya Kartaram api mam Vidya Kartaram ma. May you know that I am a Karta. Even though I appear as a Karta. Yeah. I am a Karta really and I am a Karta really. That's not possible. That's not possible. One must be appearance. One must be appearance. And therefore, when he says I am Karta and Akarta, then Kartrutvam is appearance. Then if it is appearance, then definitely Maya's Avarana Shakti has not worked in case of Ishvara. Definitely. Then only he knows himself as Brahman, as a Karta Bhokta. Right? So, but how through Maya he is a Karta means what? Creator, sustainer, resolver, Karma Phaladata, all you can take. Anyway, and so as a Bhokta, whatever is offered to him is a Bhokta, but appearing as a Bhokta, okay? All the karmas, go to where? All the karmas go to Ishvara ultimately. We don't know that. So that is why we say in Karma Yoga you offer to Ishvara. Even if you don't offer, that attitude is not there. It will go to there only. Because there is nothing other than Ishvara. So whatever you do goes to, no, but I am doing for the sake of this particular person. Yeah, you are doing for the sake of person. But a person, the reality is the person is basically Ishvara. The body is Ishvara. The mind is Ishvara. What is not Ishvara? What is not Ishvara in the person? Please tell me, what is not? Oh, Swamiji, this part is Jiva, this part is Ishvara. That is simply avidya. That's simply avidya. The difference is simply avidya. There's no difference. There's no difference. I don't know, since many days this Ishvara, Jiva, Ishvara continues. But I'm trying to make you understand that basically everything goes to Ishvara only. That person may be taking due to avidya that I am an individual, Ishvara is different. That's a different issue. And the one who offers to a particular person any karma, he also has the same attitude towards himself, that I am a Jiva and I am doing for the sake of this person. But basically both is really a glory of avidya only, and on both the sides. And therefore, basically, everything goes to Ishvara. Because, how can you say, Swamiji? It's a common sense. If he is a karma phaladata, ultimately karma has to reach to him. Then only he can give karma phala. And therefore, ultimately, otherwise karma goes to somewhere else. And then karma phaladata has to search what he has done, with what attitude he has done, and everything he has to keep on searching. All karma goes to him, because the law of karma also is he. And all the laws by which a person does karma is also Ishvara. He is also Ishvara. All the laws are manifestation of Ishvara, by which a person does karma or a person gains karma phala. All manifestation of Ishvara. And therefore, then attitude makes a big difference, right? Attitude makes a big difference. Ultimately, everything goes to him only. Anyway, so this is so this is how it is. I mean, here it's kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam is not. It doesn't generate a samsara for Ishvara, basically, not janma maranam or not punya papam, not guilt, hurt, etc. Because this is just an appearance through Maya, and Maya itself is an appearance. It's a mithya. Through Maya, what is there also is a mithya, and therefore Maya's avarana shakti cannot function, and this is how. But Maya's Vikshepa Shakti functions. That's how Jiva and Jagat both are created. But since Avarana Shakti does not function, from the standpoint of Ishvara, Jiva and Jagat both are Mithya. Since Avidya is not there. This is how it is. So Ishvara basically manifests in the form of Jiva and Jagat. But he knows this is because this is Mithya. How he knows? Because Avarana Shakti is not functioning of Maya, because Maya is under his control. And therefore he knows I am Brahman. And therefore this Maya is Mithya, is my Mithya, Maya is my Mithya Shakti. And so through Maya, whatever manifests, called Jiva and Jagat, both are Mithya. Same thing is there in Jnani. Same thing. Jnani also, that since Avidya is gone, now he says everything is Ishvara. Or let's say the whole Jagat is me. Or he will say the whole Jagat is Mithya. I am Brahman, the Adhishthanam of everything. Either way. Same thing. So Jnani and Ajnani, Jnani and Ishvara speak the same thing, because Avarana Shakti has gone from both. So you cannot find a difference between a Jnani and Ishvara, really. Jnani lives in Ishvara Sushti. Totally. Since Avidya has gone, and therefore the Vikshepa Shakti, the notions created by the Jiva under the spell of the Avidya Upadhi has gone. All Jiva Srishti gone. I am human being, I am this, I am that, I am good, I am bad, this, that, etc. I am husband, this, all notions. We'll discuss in Mundaka that still he continues to say all this. Well, I am a Swami, I am a teacher, I am that, I am food. He may say, I am eater, I am walker right now. He continues. That's due to Prarabdha. We will discuss that part. We will not touch here right now. But basically he understands this is all Mithya. Whole Jagat is Mithya. Jivatvam is Mithya. Ishvara also knows Jiva is Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. So understand. Because you may ask me, Swamiji, Ishvara, if from standpoint of Ishvara, Jiva is not there, then to whom he is giving karma phala? If Jiva is not there, then Jiva is there. Mithya. He knows this is Mithya. To Mithya Jiva, he is Mithya Karta, he is giving a Mithya Karma Phala, and then Jiva is Mithya Bhokta. Everything he knows. So from Jnani also knows this Kartrutvam Bhoktrutvam is Mithya. Not that for himself. I am a Karta Bhokta, basically he knows, means Kartrutvam Bhoktrutvam is Mithya here also, and he sees the same thing everywhere else also. Whatever your vision about yourself, that's the vision about the world. The way you look at yourself, the same way you look at the world. If you evaluate yourself from akartrutvam abhokta, akarta abhokta, you say everyone is akarta abhokta. And therefore, here also kartrutvam bhoktrutvam mithya, elsewhere also it is mithya. If you look upon yourself as a physical body, you will definitely evaluate everyone as a physical body. Because for you there is no other reality. So the way you look at yourself, the same way you look at everyone else. That's how it is. Anyway, this is so these are certain doubts regarding this kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, etc. So Antaryami also seems to be there is a Brahmayan. So he impels and propels and he controls and he persuades, he activates all Kriyapadas. Therefore, Ishvara should be taken as a Karta, etc. And so then Bhoktrutvam also should be taken. That's how this clarification has been given. Okay. So through Maya, he controls all the Jiva. So basically, and what are these? What are they? What are these Jivas which he controls? Yantra Rudhani Yantra Rudhani. These jivas were basically located in this enclosure called body, which is called yantra here. So, yantra means a body enclosure, physical body. The body cabinet, because every machine requires basically an external cabinet. Even the machine in the car also requires an external a body. That's so. Same way here, the subtle body, which is really a machine kind of a thing, well, and requires a physical body. So that's called yantra here. The container, you can say, enclosure, you can say, etc. So this jiva is the sukshma sharira chaitanya, sahita chaitanyam, conditioned consciousness through the subtle body, which is called jiva. Well, definitely yantra rudhani, which are mounted basically. Arudham means mounted. Mounted means I will explain you, that part will come later. So basically means they are enclosed in this yantra called physical body, the jiva, who is identified with the subtle body, sukshma sharira vishishta chaitanyam basically, which is a jiva, will definitely is controlled by antaryami, who is present in the heart, physical body. So the jivatma acts basically propelled by the Paramatma, Ishvara, Antaryami. So yantra rudhani, Maya. Okay, clear now? Maya, everything through Maya, all this, not as a Brahman, so through Maya. Now, and that other point already I discussed is this. So this Jiva and Ishvara both are here shown as a. Jiva is shown as a slave, and Ishvara is shown as a controller, as a Swami. So that Swami Bhrutya relationship has come between Jiva and Ishvara. Controller, controlled relationship has come, etc. And therefore the Mahavakya has gone somewhere now. For a time being, Mahavakya is gone. Jiva and there is identity between, that's a Mahavakya. There is identity between Jiva and Ishvara. Identity means identity. So the difference is purely mithya, therefore it's identity. Difference is mithya, therefore there is identity. If differences are real, well then therefore there cannot be equation. If difference is basically mithya, the difference is due to upadhi, avidya and maya, etc. upadhi, but that upadhi itself is mithya. And therefore, but then Swamiji, with maya and avidya, so the different upadhis, but then upadhi ultimately you say it's a part of maya. Then how? So because we have done that in first chapter of the Pancadasi, so maya means vishuddha sattva and avidya means malina sattva. Ultimately all gunas, vishuddha sattva, uncontaminated by rajas and tamas, that upadhi. And malina sattva means contaminated by rajas and tamas. Sattva contaminated by, adulterated by this rajas and tamas. Ultimately triguna only. Okay, and therefore ultimately triguna. So this within triguna, this kind of a thing is there. And avidya, if you say karana sharyam, is a part of karana prapancha called maya. Either way. So basically, it's not. Suppose they are independent upadhi. If both are independent upadhi, then definitely Ishvara has to say sorry. Yeah, Ishvara has a control over maya, but he does not have a control over avidya upadhi because it is independent. And therefore, he has to say sorry. This jiva behaves, independently. But that is not so. When whole maya is under the control of Ishvara, then vidya also is controlled. Means avidya is part of maya. Yeah, vidya is part of maya. But then why do you make maya and avidya difference? Even though triguna, this is the way difference. Vishuddha sattva, malina sattva. First chapter. Or second chapter, little differently. Raja pradhan prakriti and sattva pradhan prakriti and tamas pradhan prakriti. That is with the Ishvara. Raja pradhan prakriti will then this jiva. Either way. Ultimately it is triguna. Please understand. So make it clear, this also. So there is nothing other than that. So when he controls jiva means he has avidya upadhi. Jiva, basically Brahman, he is under the spell of this avidya upadhi and becomes a jiva, controlled. Then Antaryami Ishvara controls jiva means definitely his upadhi also is under his control, called avidya. Therefore avidya must be the part of maya only. We say maya is under his control and avidya is not under his control. Then maya and avidya are two different things. Please understand. Because Bhashyakara somewhere uses maya for avidya. And for avidya he uses word maya. Where? In Vivek Chudamani itself. Yeah. While explaining Karana Shariram, he explained Maya. Alright, Karana Shariram is avidya. No. That's part of Karan Prapancha. Entire Karan Prapancha. And therefore, well, definitely. But then from Maya, avidya has come, or no, sir, it is Maya. Avidya is anadi, Maya is anadi, everything is anadi. But then why Maya is called avidya? Why avidya is called Maya? That's care of Vivek Chudamani. Okay? That has been explained there. Anyway, so avidya na vidyate iti avidya, which is really not there. Maya is really not there. And therefore, Maya is really not there. Yeah. So then, what is this avidya? Well, because ultimately everything is from Maya, and that you call it as avidya. Yeah. So this is avidya? Yeah, this is avidya. This is avidya. What are you saying? Yeah, this is avidya. Na vidyate iti avidya. Swayam na vidyate. Which does not exist independently. Swayam na vidyate iti avidya. Vidya virodhini avidya. That also. Right? Vidya virodhini. So, vidya virodhini. So, when knowledge comes, this goes. Knowledge of clip comes, then clip does not remain. That's how it is. When knowledge of clip comes, clip does not remain. And therefore, you know very well. So, clip is just in a word. Vacharambadam vikaro namadev. Anyway, too much for you. But then okay. I understood. Maya is called avidya, I understood. Two things. One is Swayam na vidyate iti avidya. And therefore everything is ultimately Maya, you call it avidya because nothing is independently existing. Okay. And the second is Vidya virodhini avidya, which is opposed to vidya, opposed to knowledge. Means knowledge comes, it won't remain. And knowledge of any object comes, then that object does not remain. Okay. And therefore knowledge, true knowledge, I mean the way the Shastra analyze the whole creation, so you analyze this, then you find the clip does not remain. Anyway, so this is okay. Maya is called avidya, we know. But then avidya is called Maya. Then that is what? Because sannapya ubhayatmikano, bhinnapya ubhayatmikano, sangapya nangapya ubhayatmikano, anirvachaniya, and what is that said? Ashcharya rupa, etc., etc. Say Vivek Chudamani. Whether it is there or not, Maya means which cannot be categorically stated. About this, I cannot, this exists or not, I cannot say. It is existent? No. Non-existent? No. Existent plus non-existent? No. Which category it is? Clip is, or clip is not, or clip is and not. Clip is and is not. Nothing can be said. Maya because it is cannot be categorized. Therefore, so same object which we call avidya can be called a Maya also. Clear? Maya because for Jagat, anirvachaniyam. Mithya means anirvachaniyam. Sadasat vilakshanam. Remember this, please kindly remember. For my sake, please remember. Few classes ago only we have discussed. Right? Yeah, before Maya Pratibimbita Chaitanya, we discussed Maya, if you remember. Yeah, in this chapter itself. And there I discussed Sadasat Vilakshanam, Maya, Anirvachaniyam. Right? And therefore, this is called Maya, this is called Avidya. Nothing else. Then why you make a difference between that Ishvara and Jiva? Because this Brahman went under the spell of this avidya, this particular upadhi, avidya, well, we call jiva. And then if he is not under the spell of the upadhi, called maya, well, we call it as a Ishvara. That's how we make a difference. One is Vishuddha Sattva, within three gunas only. One is Vishuddha Sattva, other is Malin Sattva. But ultimately Triguna only, it's a part of that Triguna only. And therefore, Trigunatmika Maya, if you say the Maya is called Maya because Vishuddha Sattva, Upadhi of Ishvara, we make it a difference that way, but it is ultimately nothing is away from a Trigunatmika Maya. Everything has come from Maya. Everything. So this is just to make it clear. Sometime Maya Vidya is also there. So anyway, so this is how Yantra Rudhani Maya. So this is how it is. So with the Maya, of course, the Upadhi is on the Avidya Upadhi is there, then there is a difference. So Sopadika is there, then therefore difference. If Chaitanya is Sopadikam, if Parmeshwara is a Sopadikam, then he is a Ishvara. And then Parmeshwara is a Sopadikam, become Jiva. And therefore Avidya Upadhi and Maya Upadhi. Then there is a difference. And then, well, so then therefore we are right now discussing this. That's how word Mayaya Bhavan is used. Mayaya, I am a controller. Through Maya, I am a controller. Means I am a Sopadika right now with a Upadhi. And Jiva is also so Upadhi. Jiva is controlled. Means Jiva means what? Antakarana Upadhi Vishishta Chaitanya. Antakarana Vishishta Chaitanya is Jiva. And so Antakarana is Upadhi. So Sopadika. And Ishvara also is Maya Vishishta Chaitanya. Well, Maya Upayita Chaitanya. Yeah, Maya is under his control. He is not controlled by the Maya. So all the attributes of the Maya do not get imposed upon this Ishvara. So basically, even though with attributes he is appearing as a Sarveshwara and Sarvagnya and Antaryami in all with attributes, definitely. But that is his just appearance. Whereas Avidya Upadhi is due to that same Brahman says I am ignorant, and also Avarana Shakti also works. I am Brahman, he doesn't know. And therefore I am Jiva, etc. All this Vikshepa also arises. So these two differences should be clear. So with Upadhis are there, then we say these are differences. Controller, controlled. Antaryami is a controller and one is controlled. Anyway. So Niyamya, Niyamaka Sambandha you can say. Ishvara is a Niyamaka and Jiva is a Niyamya. And when Upadhi is removed, why Upadhi is removed? Who has given you this power to remove Upadhi? Well, it is Mithya. And therefore, the difference is, since the Upadhi is Mithya, the difference is based on Upadhi is Mithya. And therefore, in reality, they are one alone. That is a Vedanta. But then what is this? Right now, you are talking about the difference. What is that? It is a Devanta, okay? It is Vishishta. It is a Vishishta Advaitam. Yeah. Jiva Ishwar Sambandha. Niyamak Niyamya Sambandha. Jiva is a part and Ishvara is a whole. Part and whole. Part is always controlled by the whole. Yeah. State is controlled by the country. Country is not controlled by the state. Okay. This is what of my understanding. Okay. A state is not controlled by, state is controlled by the center. Means country. Country, it is within the country, part of the country. A part is always controlled by the whole. Whole is not controlled by the part. Part is non-separate from the whole. Yeah. Jiva is non-separate from Ishvara. Part. As a part, it is non-separate from the whole. But whole is not part. So Ishvara is not Jiva. It is all Vishishtadvaita. I think I talked about it also in this few classes last. Anyway, so this part-whole relationship, Amshamshi Sambandha, very beautiful, for creating a, for surrendering Ahankara, it is very, very essential. And Ishvara is a Swami. Well, at that altar, I surrendered my ego. I am a Bhritya, he is a Swami. I am a controller, I am a Niyamya, he is a Niyamaka, he is a Karmaphaladata, he is a Sarveshwara, Sarvagnya. With all superior attributes, he is a Narayanam. He is Brahman. He is Brahman. Residing in Vaikuntha, etc. So it's good. So Vishishtadvaitam fruit also we enjoy. So right now we are Vishishtadvaitam. I am a part, he is a whole. I am controlled by him. Okay. And now, verse 172, we'll just read and leave it. सर्वभूतानि विज्ञानमयाः ते हृदये स्थिताः तदुपादानभूतेशः तत्र विक्रियते खलु. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ।